Welcome to More in the Know podcast. I am your host, Josh Morin, CEO and co-founder of Fueled Supplements, as well as sobriety, woke, business, and wellness coach. More in the Know delivers an array of content based around marketing, health and fitness, personal branding, consciousness, addiction, conspiracy, and the truth. If you seek to better understand the inner workings of human performance, consciousness, business, and humanity, you've come to the right place. Thank you for tuning in and tagging along. Let's get today's podcast started. What's up? What's happening, everybody? More in the Know, episode 5 of 30 for my 30 for 30. I believe today is episode number 12 in the grand scheme of things. So happy Saturday. It's a beautiful Saturday here in Glendale, Arizona. I hope you guys are enjoying your Saturday in and or out of quarantine. Hope you guys are outside enjoying the great outdoors. And I feel that that is necessary for our personal health. There's been some requirements made by mainstream media, and I'm not going to jump into that, but let's talk about the things that we should actually be doing during a time like this. Number one, if there is sickness and there's illness, what could you be doing to support your immune system? Immune system support. You are immune to disease. You're immune to viruses. You're immune to infection. What is the best way to do this? Number one, have a diet that is an alkaloid diet. Number two, you're taking your vitamins, your minerals, you're getting plenty of your daily recommendations for your vitamins, your minerals, as well as I truly believe that vitamin D is one of the best things for immunity. Going outside, getting vitamin D. If you can't go outside, there's a great place in Great Falls, Montana that you can get some sunlight indoors called Total Nutrition and Tanning. But go outside and get some sunlight. Is the best way to create immunity within the body is sunlight. They're recommending for us to stay indoors. And what's happening, what I'm seeing is people are staying indoors and eating horrible junk food, increasing their sugar intake, having horrible diets, putting more MSG, more chemicals into our bodies. We're drinking alcohol. Alcohol sales have increased. Alcohol and marijuana sales have increased 40 to 60% depending on which part of the United States that you're in. So what does that mean? We're getting horrible sleep. What that means to me is we're actually breaking down our immune system and not providing the necessary nutrients, number one, and or not living the lifestyle to be able to have a healthy immune system. So stay in your home, stay away from people, don't go outside, don't go in the sunlight. Here, we're going to keep alcohol stores open. We're going to allow you to smoke and drink all that you want, party all that you want, and we're going to put you in a position that most of us can't control the temptation of being home by ourselves or being home for an extended period of time. So you're going to find yourself making frequent trips to the cupboard. You're going to find yourself making frequent trips to the refrigerator. Why? Because you're suppressing your feelings. You're suppressing and repressing these feelings. I've been working out of my home now for the last 3 years, so I definitely have this really down pat. I'm not really falling into this fear mongering. I'm not really falling into being at home because I'm at home all day long, every day, and I've developed these skills over time, and I've developed habits over time that doesn't make me keep rushing into the refrigerator. Doesn't keep me rushing into the cupboard. Because why? Majority of the time that you're doing this, and if you're saying that eating out of boredom, the boredom comes from procrastination. And typically the procrastination comes from us being suppressed and suppressing feelings that is stopping you from doing the task at hand. What are you suppressing? Food is a huge suppressant. Food itself is a big way to procrastinate. It's an easy thing to stop what you're doing and go eat for a little while and watch a little Netflix on your phone or listen to a little music or scroll through Instagram or social media for a little while. It's an out. So truly the best way to develop a healthy immune system and a healthy lifestyle is set a standard for yourself. Set a standard for yourself. First and foremost, I'm not going to bash on drugs and alcohol, but what I will say is that do you really feel that drinking every day and eating crappy food and watching and binging Netflix and sitting on your ass and not getting any sunlight and just staying in and staying home, do you think that's really the cure? Do you think that's really going to help you build a healthy, strong immune system? That really defies everything. They want us to stay home. They want us to get vaccinated. They want us to do all these things. But what they're not telling us is the way to true health and true freedom is routine sleep, getting plenty of sleep, drinking enough water, providing the body with the vitamins and minerals necessary, having healthy habits of exercise, have a healthy relationship with the foods that you eat, what you're putting into your body, not just into your body through your mouth, but into your body through your mind and ears. We're polluting ourselves by listening to mainstream media sources. We're polluting ourselves by the music that we're listening to. And the moment that you can take charge of your life, and the moment that you can say, you know what, I'm no longer going to pollute my brain. I'm going to provide my brain with the necessary and essential elements and nutrients for growth on all levels. For one, it comes down to nutrition, but two, it comes down to what you're feeding your brain through your eyes and your ears. And you can decide, and that's a conscious decision. I never tune on mainstream media. I never watch the news. I've hated the news since I was a kid. I've never been involved in that. Why? Because for some reason, I could always tell that it was toxic. And instead of buying into all the fear-mongering, instead of buying into all the chaos, what I've decided to do over this time is develop a attitude of a lifestyle of truth-seeking. And that's something that I really feel that right now the world is waking up. And I feel that right now, more than ever, you should question everything. Question everything that you've been taught. Why is the sky blue? Why is the earth round? And I'm not going to come on here and say I'm a flat earther, but question it. Question these things. How come the guy that is promoting this vaccine has no medical history? He's a college dropout. He believes in eugenics. His father believes in eugenics. And now all of a sudden, he knows what's best for the world. He's a fucking website programmer. He's a software programmer. And we're going to believe this man? So what I'm saying is question everything. Don't believe, and even the content that I'm telling you, question it. Do your research. That's part of becoming conscious that we all must embody. It's great that we have spiritual teachers. It's great that we have a lot of people that we respect. It's great that we are seeking the truth. But besides all that, what it comes down to, on top of what you're being told, it's going off and doing your own research to either confirm or deny the findings that you're reading about, listening about, or seeing. And that's what life is. And that's what life comes down to, is we have been programmed to be robots since we're little kids. You go through the school system. This is right. This is wrong. This is how it is. You read history books, and this is how it is. And the history books that you read in school are completely flawed. You start to do some actual research on the information that's being provided, and you start to begin to understand that we are being lied to. We've been lied to for a long time, and it is our responsibility as conscious people to be able to step into our power, regardless of the resistance that other people are going to say. Because trust me, people have been saying I'm losing my mind. People are saying, "Oh, is Josh really going off the deep end with all of these ideas that he has?" Sure. But are you staying in ignorance? Because ignorance isn't bliss. And somebody said to me the other day, is like, well, that's great and all. I believe there's a lot more going on, but what does it do me good to know this information? A lot. It does you a lot of good. Why? Because once you can begin to understand the truth, if you lift the veil and begin to understand the truths of what are happening and what's going on, then you can be in a conscious state of awareness, especially where your life's at, to be one step ahead of what's going on. So when a situation like this arises, that you're not in this panic mode, that you're not in chaos, that you're not overwhelmed, and you're not living in anxiety. Because most of the world right now is living in fear, doubt, anxiety, low levels of transmutational energy. Because they're scared. Because they're afraid. And what happens is once you become conscious, you begin to see things for what they are, not what is being told. You look behind the veil, you lift the veil, and you can begin to have some clarity. And it's like this, oh, the veil in front of your eyes is like moving open, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, like, man, whew, this is what I've been missing all those years. This is what they've not been telling us all those years. And now this is how I'm going to design my life. And this is how I'm going to create and cultivate my living. And this is how I'm going to become the best version of myself to develop this lifestyle that is one step ahead of what's going on in the world. That is the reason why we must become conscious. Not to be conspiracy advocates and conspiracy ambassadors on social media challenging people's wokeness. That's not what this is about. I don't give a fuck what you know in the world of conspiracy. What I care about is what you know about yourself and what you're doing to become the best version of yourself. The rest of everything else, that's great that you know about aliens and extraterrestrials and all these the reptilian era and all these other things. This is awesome. If you understand Freemasonry and you can really go down the rabbit hole, this is great and dandy and all. But that means fucking nothing if you're not taking any of that conscious awareness and doing anything in your personal life. If you're just being a conspiracy theorist and or a realist, I should say, because I hate the word fucking conspiracy. If you're just being a conspiracy person and you're down the rabbit hole, but that's all you are is just down the rabbit hole, but you're doing nothing with this information besides spurting it out, then that's doing nothing for the growth of humanity. That's doing nothing for the growth of you. Conscious awareness without action is nothing. It's like the law of attraction without action is nothing. So it's great to understand these concepts. It's great to go down the rabbit hole. And that's where I found myself lately, is I've been diving deep down the rabbit hole, and I've been uncovering and lifting the veil on so many different topics. And it was giving me headaches for the amount of information that was really coming into my brain, and that I was receiving. And what I had to do consciously this last couple of weeks was to turn that off and now apply some of the knowledge that I have and be understanding, okay, all right, I'm conscious of what's going on, but what am I doing now that I'm conscious of this to make change in my personal life? Because if we're not stampeding the White House, if we're not stampeding these political parties or these establishments within our cities, within our states, and within our country, then what are we going to do with this information that we know? Once you've been red-pilled, you can't go back, but that's great that you've been red-pilled, and it's great that you know, or you think you know, all of this information. But what are you doing with that information? And it's not to sit here and spurt that information out on social media and try to make people bad for not knowing this information, because I promise you, I could go really deep into the hole. But it has nothing to do with how deep I could go. My message here is saying, go on your own journey of truth seeking. And when you're on your own journey to be a truth seeker, what you're going to begin to better understand, number one, is the inner workings of yourself. It's great to know this extra curricular information, but if you don't know the inner workings of who you are, the inner curricular information that you should be knowing is what is really holding you back from succeeding and breaking through the glass window, breaking through the glass ceiling. And if you are ready to break through, if you're ready to raise your level of awareness and your level of consciousness, yes, it's great to go down the rabbit hole. Yes, question everything. But when you're questioning everything and when you're really diving down the rabbit hole, now begin to cultivate, create, plan, and execute in a way that can allow you now to step into the person, number one, that you deserve to be, the business person, the friend, the family member, the husband, the boyfriend, the girlfriend, whoever it is that you deserve to be, because now that you're raising your consciousness, you're allowing yourself to step into your power. You're allowing that awareness to become your identity. You're no longer stuck in this mud pit of fear, of doubt, of anxiety, but you're lifting yourself and you're breaking through. Question everything. Question everything. And once you question everything and you begin to develop and understand what's really going on, then take that information and apply it to your life. taking that information and just spurting it out and creating fights over Facebook or creating fights over social media is doing no justice for you and or the topic that you're talking about. But what will do the most justice is if you take that information, you make a plan of attack, and you execute and you produce. All this information means nothing if you are not producing, especially in the realm of business. You don't get paid for your time. You get paid to create results. If you're working for profits, not wages, wages is when you work for somebody else and they pay you from 9 to 5, $10 or $12 an hour, or whatever your normal 40-hour week pay is. That's wages. Profit is what you can create in the free market. And I am incredibly grateful to be in the free market, to be able to create and cultivate the profit that I deserve. And you can too. And if you have trouble and are seeking assistance in letting go, surrendering, letting go of anxiety, breaking the veil, and breaking through consciously, I'm offering 20-minute free coaching calls. I'm an accredited success coach, and I will unequivocally assist you in understanding why you do what you do to allow you to break through to the next level. I appreciate everybody hopping on. This is episode 5 of 30. I'm going to have an incredible Saturday. I'm feeling the energy today, baby. I'm feeling the energy today, and I hope you are too. Be sure to check out fueledsupplements.com. Give me a follow on Instagram at Mor-In the Know. And check out my personal website where all these podcasts and blogs are posted at morintheknow.org. Appreciate every single one of you. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Have a blessed day. We will see you tomorrow.